Students, with help of this video, I am going to introduce to you all the concept of chapter number 3, machines. We will start with the definition of machine. As you get up early in the morning to till you go at bed at night, you people are surrounded by a number of machines. Okay, so machines makes our work easier. Machine is anything that reduces human effort, or we can say anything that simplifies works or saves time is a machine. It is our common experience that it is much easier to open a nut by using nutcracker as compared to opening it by hand. Similarly, it is difficult to pull up a bucket of water directly from the well, but it becomes much easier to pull it up with the use of pulley. Okay, so machines makes our work easier. Okay, work is the product of, as we have discussed in chapter number 2, in physics, work is product of force and displacement, and force and displacement are along the same direction. Okay, so we can say machines are devices by means of which a primary force exerted over some displacement at one location gives rise to secondary force and displacement at different location. Now, we often use hammer. A hammer is a machine. Okay, work is done on the handle, in which in turn does work on a head, and which do work on the nail. Okay, so the work done on the machine at effort end, that is work in, and work done by the machine at the load end, that is the work output. Okay, so a machine uses single applied force to do work against a single load force. See students, a machine is a device, okay, which can overcome large resistive force by applying a small force, or it can provide us the gain in speed. Let us discuss these things in detail. Now let's discuss about the uses and functions of the machines. I am going to start with the first one, that is machines act as force multiplier. See students, as the word depicts, force multiplier. Okay, now force multiplier machines are devices that reduce the amount of force necessary to move an object. We can say we are able to lift a heavy load by applying less effort. Load is more, okay, but the effort that we are applying, that is lesser. Okay, like I will say a jack. Jack is used to lift very heavy car. Okay, similarly we can say pulleys are used, force multiplier pulleys. Okay, we can say movable pulleys that are used to lift a heavy load. Wheelbarrow is used to carry a load. Okay, in these all the examples what we have seen, the effort that we apply is lesser but load is more. That machines act as force multiplier. Then machines also act as speed multiplier. Speed multiplier are the devices in which there is increase in the speed, the distance traveled by object, increase in the distance traveled by the object, or we can say the greater displacement of the load. Okay, greater movement of load by applying a smaller effort. that machines are acting as speed multiplier. Like in the scissor, on the handles we apply very less force, okay, but what happens, the blades move longer. Okay, so the scissor act as speed multiplier. Similarly, knife also, that also act as a speed multiplier machine. Okay, force multiplier, it is used to overcome large resistive force. There is more movement of the objects. Okay, then next is changing the direction of effort to a convenient point. Suppose if you are lifting a bucket from the well, okay, then with the help of rope, if you are lifting it, you will be applying the effort in the upward direction. But see students, if we are bucket is there and if we are having a machine like pulley is there, then effort applied by us will be in the downward direction. So with the help of pulley, we are able to change the direction of effort applied. Okay, and the next case is pulleys are used to change the point of application. Okay, point of application of effort. Okay, as the rear wheel of cycle is rotated by applying efforts on the pedals, okay, which in turn are attached to the toothed wheel, which is joined to the rear wheel. Okay, see students, in that case point of application of effort is changed from pedal to the rear wheel, back wheel of the cycle. We are applying force on the pedal, but the movement is of back wheel of the, means the rear wheel of the bicycle. So what are the four functions and uses of machines? Machine act as force multiplier, speed multiplier. Machines are used to change the point of application, okay, of effort, and machines are used to change the direction of effort to a suitable point. Okay, now we can move towards the next thing, that are the technical terms related to the machines. See students, if I have to break a nut with the help of a machine, that would be nut cracker. Okay, now this is my nut that I have to break. Okay, this is the hinge point, fulcrum, I can say. This is the load. Now the load I spoke, load means, load is a force that is to be overcome. Okay, the resistive or opposing force to be overcome by a machine, that is called load. It is force, so SI unit of load is Newton. Okay, now effort, the force that we apply. If I am applying force on the handles of this device, then that is my effort. Okay, the force applied on machine to overcome the load is called effort. Normally it is denoted with L with E. Okay, this is again force, so SI unit of load will be Newton. Now the next term that which we have written is mechanical advantage. Okay, mechanical advantage is measure of ratio of output force to input force. Okay, that is mechanical advantage is the ratio of load to the effort. Okay, so we can say mechanical advantage is mathematically equal to ratio of load to the effort. See students, further three cases arises here. On the basis of mechanical advantage, we can judge a machine. Okay, so three cases are there. The first case is when load is more than the effort. Okay, we have to overcome large force, but effort applied is lesser. Or we can say effort is more than the load, second possibility. Or there is a possibility that load is equal to the effort. Okay, see students, a machine in which load is more than the effort. Okay, so as you know, mathematics, in mathematics we also, I explained in the beginning, the machines in which we are able to overcome more load by applying lesser effort, that machines act as a force multiplier. Okay, so we are having here, like in mathematics, we know if it is 10 by 5, numerator is more as compared to the denominator. When we will divide it, I will be getting 2. So 2 is greater than 1. If it is 5 by 10, numerator is smaller than the denominator. I will be getting here 0.5, which is less than. This is a very simple thing. Numerator is more than denominator, then value will be greater than 1. If denominator is more than the numerator, value will be less than 1. So see students, here the case is when load is more than the effort, numerator is more than the effort. So here mechanical advantage is greater than 1. If effort is more, mechanical advantage is less than 1. And if load is equal to effort, if both are x like, then cancelled, then mechanical advantage is equal to 1. Okay, see students, very simple. When we are lifting heavy load, load is heavy and effort is less, very simple, that machines act as force multiplier machines. Okay, now if in the case we are having effort is more as compared to the load, okay, what happened, that effort, the force that we applied, that get converted into kinetic energy, and that machines act as displacement is more, displacement of load is more. Okay, that machines act as speed multiplier. Okay, and if load is equal to effort, machine is not a force multiplier, machine is not a speed multiplier. Okay, just only changes the direction of effort applied. Okay, while using a machine to overcome a certain load, if effort needed is less than the load, the machine has mechanical advantage more than 1. Okay, while if it needs effort greater than the load, it is mechanical advantage is less than 1, and it is equal to 1 if effort is equal to the load. Okay, this is force multiplier, this machine acts as speed multiplier, and this just provides us the, there is no change in the force, there is no change in the speed, no gain in the speed, no gain in the force, just to change the direction of effort. Okay, so one thing more is machine cannot be used as force multiplier as well as speed multiplier simultaneously. Okay, for a machine used as force multiplier, load must be more than the effort, and for the speed multiplier, effort must be more than the load. I think you have understood the concept. Mathematics was also used here. Load more than effort, numerator more than denominator, value more than 1. Denominator more than the numerator, value less than 1. And both are equal, value equal to 1. Okay, so this is the mechanical advantage. Students, mechanical advantage is used to analyze the forces in simple machines. Okay, now load is over, effort is over, mechanical advantage is over. Now the next thing, okay, one thing was left, unit of mechanical advantage. Yes, what is the unit of mechanical advantage? It has no unit. Why? Because it is the ratio of similar quantity force. Unit of force is Newton. Again the Newton if it is taken in the SI, so it has no unit. Whenever the ratio is of similar quantities, then there is no unit. So mechanical advantage has no unit. Now the next term that I am going to start is velocity ratio. Okay, see students, velocity ratio. Velocity ratio is the ratio of velocity of the effort to the velocity of the load. Okay, velocity ratio is velocity of effort to the velocity of load. As I told you, whenever we apply force, there occurs some displacement. So when load is producing some displacement, that is transferred to the, when effort is producing some displacement, that is transferred to the displacement of load also. Okay, so let us understand the concept of velocity ratio. Now we know velocity. In 9th standard you all have done velocity is equal to displacement per unit time. Okay, so let dl be the distance moved by effort. Okay, distance moved by effort, and dl be distance moved by load, sorry. Okay, and de be distance moved by effort. Okay, in time interval t, whenever a machine is operated both in the same time t. Okay, now velocity of load, that is distance moved by load, okay, by time, that is dl by time. Okay, velocity of effort, that is displacement of effort by the time. So velocity ratio is velocity of effort by velocity of load. So this is the velocity of effort, this is the velocity of load. So t will be cancelled, but we are having de by dl. Okay, so we can say velocity ratio is defined as, is also defined in terms of displacement of effort to the displacement of load. Okay, velocity ratio is also defined as ratio of displacement of effort to the displacement of load. Okay, or I can say it is how much faster, okay, the input forces are moving as compared to the output forces. Okay, how much faster the input forces move as compared to the displacement of the output forces, that is load. Okay, now see students, real life example. If you are lifting a very heavy load, okay, and machine is employed for the same, what will happen? In using the machine, small effort applied, okay, will have to move through a large distance for lifting a heavy load to move a heavy load through a small distance in the same interval of time. Okay, so we can say velocity ratio is the ratio of distance moved by effort, okay, displacement of effort to the displacement of the load. Okay, now again 3 cases arises. Okay, the first case is a machine in which the displacement of effort is more than the displacement of load, or in the second machine it can be displacement of load can be more than the displacement of effort, and displacement of load is equal to the displacement of effort. Okay, see students, a machine in which displacement of load is less than the displacement of effort, okay, that machine, in that machine numerator, this is more as compared to the denominator, so velocity ratio will be greater than 1. Okay, then what we will say, these machines will act as force multipliers. Okay, here also if we are having denominator is more, then I will be getting it less than 1. These machines act as speed multiplier. And these machines in which displacement of effort is equal to displacement of load, ratio of the same numbers, okay, it will be the distance displacement is same in both the cases, velocity ratio is equal to 1, just changing the direction of effort applied. See, the case that I am going to explain is this one. First of all, see, if load is displaced more, okay, load is displaced more than the effort, then obviously that machine will be acting as the speed multiplier. I told you in the beginning also, okay, whenever there is a greater movement of load, okay, by smaller movement of effort, that machine is speed multiplier machine. If suppose, see students, here you are having more displacement of effort, okay, but displacement of load is lesser, then that machines will act as force multiplier. Where displacement of load is more than the effort, that machines will act as speed multiplier. Okay, and when both are equal, only the direction of effort applied is changed. See students, velocity ratio also do not have any unit. There is no unit for the velocity ratio. Okay, now the next one, the next technical term that I am going to introduce to you is work input. Okay, see students, the work done on the machine at effort end is work input, and work done by the machine at the load end is the work output. Okay, so I can say work done on the machine by effort is work input. You know, work is product of force and displacement. Okay, work is product of force and displacement. So this is work done by the effort. So effort into displacement of effort, that is work input. Now output, that is work done by the machine on load, by the machine on load, that is work output. So I can say work output is load into displacement of the load. Okay, now a very means real life concept I am going to explain, very simple concept, that is the, I will start this one with the, we can give name to this topic, that is principle of machines. Okay, see students, in case of ideal machine, okay, ideal machine, that is which give, in which there is no loss of energy, as this is a machine, okay, this is whatever input is given, work input, this is the work output. See students, always there is loss of energy by the machine, energy and power. Okay, so normally it is in form of heat, okay, rubbing of the parts of machine and all. Okay, loss of work, loss of energy. So work input is normally, we can say work output and work input are not equal to each other. Always there is some loss of energy, and in the machines in which work input and work output are equal, that machines are ideal machines that are not possible in the real life. Okay, now work input is over, work output is over. The next concept is of efficiency. See students, efficiency, the word itself says efficiency of the machine is the whatever output is there by ratio of output to the ratio of input. Okay, so efficiency of a machine is the ratio of work output to the work input. Okay, so it is normally we express it in form of percentage. We say efficient student, like how much we gave to the student and how much he or she studied by herself or himself. That is efficiency of a student. We are giving input, you people are giving us output. If I compare your output with input, then that is your efficiency. Similarly, efficiency of machine is work output, ratio of work output to the work input. Okay, so whenever it is written in the percentage, see students, symbol for efficiency is eta. Okay, so whenever it is expressed in the percentage, we write it as work output by work input multiplied by 100. Okay, so this is the case of efficiency. Efficiency also have no unit because work ratio of the similar quantities work, so units will cancel out. Okay, see students, I told you earlier also, it is not possible for a machine to be ideal. Okay, ideal machine is a machine which gives 100% of efficiency, that is entire input energy is converted into output energy. Okay, however, this is not possible as some energy is lost due to friction, imperfect components and all. So the term ideal machine refers to the hypothetical mechanical system in which energy and power are not lost, okay, or dissipated through friction, deformation, wear or other inefficiencies. That is the case of ideal machines. But in actual machines, students, there is always a loss of energy. Okay, what is the principle of machine in actual? We can say when energy is supplied to a machine by applying effort, it overcomes the load by doing some useful work on it. So the point at which we apply effort, that is called effort point, and where energy is obtained, that is called load point. So for ideal machine, what we have principle, output energy must be equal to input energy. Okay, so this is the case. If it is possible, then the principle of, if the useful work done by the machine, we know it cannot be greater than the work done on the machine, otherwise it will violate the principle of conservation of the energy. Okay, so in the normal cases, output is always little bit lesser as compared to the input. So we can say efficiency cannot be 100%. Okay, and there is loss of energy, so due to the moving parts, due to the string in the machine, and all the different parts are not perfectly rigid. Okay, so if suppose machine is 80% efficient, then where do the 20% energy goes? That is in the loss, okay, due to the different parts of the machine. Now the last topic that I am going to explain is relationship between the various technical terms that we have discussed. Okay, the relationship between efficiency, mechanical advantage, and velocity ratio. See students, recently we have discussed efficiency. Eta is the ratio of work output to the work input. Okay, work output is the work done by the machine on the load. Okay, so force into displacement of load. Okay, work input is work done on the effort, so force, effort is the force into displacement of effort. So we have efficiency is equal to load into displacement produced by the load. And so students, up to here this is very simple. Now the next case what we will do is rearranging. You know this can be written like this. L by E we know that is mechanical advantage, but this I can write this in the denominator of displacement of effort. So here I am having efficiency is by just rearranging. So we got efficiency is equal to load by effort, that is equal to mechanical advantage, displacement of effort to the displacement of load, that is velocity ratio. So this is the relationship between the mechanical advantage, velocity ratio and efficiency. Okay students, mechanical advantage is equal to product of velocity ratio and efficiency. Okay, for ideal machine, work output is equal to work input, so efficiency is equal to 1, or we can say 100%. Okay, mechanical advantage is numerically equal to the velocity ratio. Okay, but in the actual machines, mechanical advantage for all the practical machines is always less than its velocity ratio, or output work is always less than the input work. So efficiency is less than 1, and due to some loss of input energy, due to friction and due to the other parts of machine. So I think up to this we had discussed in the class that was taken today, and in the next class we will be on the levers. Okay, that is a simple machines. We will discuss levers, then pulleys. Okay, inclined plane is reduced from the slings. So this was the relationship work output by work input. L by E means load into displacement of load effort. Here bete we have done load by effort, then we just separated the product. Then you know in mathematics 3 by 2 it can be written as 1 by, obviously 3 will move here, the same we have applied here also. So DL is taken here in the denominator of DE. Okay, so just by rearranging I got this is L by E is mechanical advantage, then by velocity ratio. So this was the session of introduction of the machines.